Creating unique things with fishing twine, a couple of needles, and a pile of beads is not as simple as it might seem at the first glance. Beadwork is a very difficult hobby which requires both perseverance and vivid imagination. But those who have ever tried their hand at this have no doubts about what to do when they have a couple of free moments. My passion for beading is a way of self-expression. I weave beads for myself and my family. I spend a lot of time on beadwork, but it is worth it. This art is widespread among Ukrainian youth, as it is fashionable, stylish, and very interesting. Beadwork is a type of needlework which involves beads, small round balls with holes in them. This is a trade, creative work, like a sort of art. There are legends about how travelers making campfires on sandy shores saw that a new substance formed in places where sand and soda were mixed and heated, which was then called glass. For centuries, people have experimented with this substance with varying degrees of success. It is known that the Venetian reached peaks of excellence. Their glassware and beadwork were at a very high standard. Egyptians, Romans, and Greeks also tried to make glass themselves and bead products one way or another. In Ukraine, women and girls have decorated themselves since ancient times. The decoration of Kiev and Rus was preserved in murals and paintings, so we can see how women adorned themselves at those times. Each year, beading is becoming increasingly popular in the fashion world. I saw some girls using beads to make handmade dresses and blouses. In order to begin weaving beads, you must be interested in it and have a desire to do it, otherwise there's no sense. I started at home. I saw beaded bracelets on the internet and I wanted to wear those and make them myself. What's the need to spend money? At first I made toys, then bangles and beads. During the classes, we learn how to make good stylish products that fit any dress. Very interesting bracelets are made using various techniques, like the brick technique. I also like the way we make earrings. There are many kinds of earrings. I like the ones with flowers and butterflies the most. It is very easy to weave beads now. Now there are threads which are less prone to tear and machines for weaving bracelets. When we weaved by hand before, it took up to 3 days. Now it only takes an hour or two. One can choose any color. I buy materials in the store for needlework. There is a wide choice of beads and threads. I learned beading from my mother, who'd always wanted to show me something new. Like any other mother, she wanted her child to develop. Why not dancing? Because in dance you get exhausted but don't work mentally. But here you do. This movement also strengthens the nervous system, which is something the younger modern generation needs. Compared to the previous years, it is much easier to weave because you know how to combine colors. When I just started, I couldn't name the colors of the rainbow in the right order. Beadwork has many aspects. Usually we begin with creating toys with wires. It's called the parallel weaving technique. Older girls make jewelry, necklaces, and Ukrainian folk jewelry, which requires the mesh weaving technique. Mesh weaving techniques are mosaics, airy mosaics, and harness creation. These are traditional beadwork techniques. Beading has been rapidly developing in recent years, and many new techniques have been discovered, like the creation of flowers and certain types of bags with the halo technique. Complex works can be created using any technique. Accomplishing the most is the main thing. I like the halo technique the most, where flowers are easily made, but they look elegant and fit to bracelets, earrings, and necklaces. It's a versatile technique. I like straight, mosaic, mesh, and brick weaving. The mesh weaving technique is the most difficult. Here you must calculate the number of beads in every row and the number of each color. For each bracelet, you need up to 3 classes. This is about 4 to 5 hours. Other techniques could take up to 3 months to master, depending on how difficult it is. Earrings take 1 class to make, meaning you can have beautiful earrings in 2 hours. I usually look for techniques on the internet. There are many different groups in social media that offer to make something or buy a finished work. There are groups that always have something new. There are times when I find a piece of jewelry on the internet and I want to make it, but there's no schematic, so I sit down and come up with it myself. In order to do beading, you must not worry and contain yourself, because when you're nervous, you cannot progress. Beading is very popular in Ukraine. Traditional styles are popular in Western Ukraine because some techniques were passed on from grandmothers to granddaughters. I know groups in Eastern Ukraine. There, making flowers from beads and wires is especially popular. In Odessa, all beadwork techniques are popular. In Ukraine, there's an international exhibition called Craftsman's Hand of Gold. I've met craftsmen from Russia, Israel, Germany, Japan, Australia, and Denmark there. Girls from various countries have attended the exhibition. I really liked it as there were a lot of different techniques on display. Girls from the US had beautiful bracelets and hairpins. У них браслети були прекрасні, як трансформери, і силянки були, і заколки різні. There's also a very good exhibition called Beads Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow, held by the Ukrainian Culture and Art Center. It is very representative, and my students took part in it on many occasions. After being engaged in beadwork for many years, I am becoming more and more convinced that the creation of beautiful things is a natural human need. I am sure that beading will not cease to exist and will keep developing further and further.